Where do you guys think I should put this?
What is
Stand-up banner? Should I right out front?
Absolutely. Thank you for inviting me.
It's a refuge fishery.
Hi, sir.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
You made
See
it.
you again? Yes.
Whoever has to text you back, man. It's all right.
Oh, you're fine.
How you been?
I'm a 21-year-old from Wisconsin, and I attend school in Seattle. And I was a conservative activist from the age of 10. I realized the more I went through it that the party or the movement that I felt like I belonged to, the conservative movement, didn't really talk about the environment, and it wasn't a priority. So what is ACC? We're a nonprofit. We have campus operations on 180 college campuses nationwide. We launched just 2 years ago, and what we're building is a grassroots movement that fights for market-based, limited government, environmental solutions. We need to have both parties at the table if we're going to accomplish anything environmentally.
Benji, you guys are doing incredible work with the ACC. Whenever you are either EP Administrator or Secretary of Interior, I want you to invite me to come in and meet with you in your office.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me to be here tonight.
One, two, three.
Every category except for playoffs. And even the playoffs, he has better stats.
The ACC has grown quickly since Benjamin Backer founded it from his fraternity house at the University of Washington.
We see our role as an organization to showcase that the millennial youth, Republican, Democrat, Independent, all overwhelmingly want action on these things, so that this administration and other Republicans and conservatives should take it seriously.
Nowhere in the country is feeling it more than Alaska, which is seeing temperatures rise faster than any other state. It's apparent on hikes like this, where visitors get an up-close view of just how much glaciers have receded in recent decades.
How concerned are you about climate change and the impact that humans are having on the environment?
So it's definitely having a massive impact, and it's definitely something that we have to worry about.
Do you think that the folks you're trying to win over, the Andrew Wheelers, Lisa Murkowski's, do you think they share that same level of concern and urgency?
Well, I know Lisa Murkowski does firsthand, and I think Andrew Wheeler does as well. I don't know if it's his number one priority, but it should be, and it should be most people's number one priority.
There are two major factors that shape how Americans think about climate change. The first is age. An original Newsy Ipsos survey found 20% of millennials and Generation Z chose climate change as one of the top issues of the 2020 campaign, and that number was much higher than it was in older generations. The second is politics. Democrats are much more likely than Republicans to acknowledge that climate change is a serious threat and say that humans are having an impact on the environment. But what our survey also found is that the partisan divide has virtually disappeared among younger generations. An overwhelming majority of millennials and Generation Z agree that humans are negatively impacting the environment, regardless of which political party they identify with. Instead, the partisan divide is in older GOP voters, who our polling shows overwhelmingly do not share those same views on climate or the environment. And that's what makes this mission for young conservatives so difficult. The people most skeptical about their message are also a key block of Republican voters.
Woohoo! 4 more years, baby!
a United States American voter, and I'm here to support President Trump.
Here for the Trump rally.
For the president's base, climate change really isn't a big issue, or an issue at all.
Personally, that's like at the bottom of my list. I do my part, I recycle. I want to keep our country strong. That's my issue, keeping America strong.
The most important issue to me is the illegal immigration.
I think economics is definitely the number one.
To me, honestly, it's not because I don't care, but I just don't have the right information or the facts.
I think a lot of it is cyclical. I don't think that we're going to really change a whole lot.
I'm sure we can help stop it, but if the United States is the only country doing that, forget the Green Deal. If I want to get to California, I want to fly, I don't want to walk.
Is there anything better than a Trump rally? What about a sleepy Joe Biden rally?
While President Trump often touts America's increasing energy independence, he rarely mentions climate change.
We ended last administration's cruel war on American energy, and we are delivering a policy of American energy independence like you've never seen before.
When he does, he expresses skepticism, even denial.
Every leading Democrat has pledged to abolish the American oil, coal, and natural gas industries that are fueling our economic boom. Can you imagine this? We're sitting on great wealth. They want to take it away from us.
And that, Backer says, has been noticed by young Republicans.
Alrighty, so I think we're gonna get started. This is the start of a really exciting 8-hour-ish day here, so I know people are gonna be trickling in and out throughout the day. There's no way for us to get things done on environmental topics today, specifically around conservation and energy, without free market, limited government voices at the table.
When looking at 2020 and the issue of climate, is there any room for someone whose top issue is climate change to vote Republican right now?
No. And that's disappointing. There's a lot of young people who are conservative and believe in climate change or would be conservative otherwise. They will not vote for a Republican if they're voting on this issue. And I think that that's a problem with the lack of involvement from the Republican Party on this issue for the past 10 years.
What would you like to see the messaging from the Republican Party be, and what would you like to see their policies actually be?
The messaging can't just be climate denial. It just can't be. No matter if you believe in climate change being largely man-made or not, lowering emissions is good for everyone, it's good for health, and it's good for our environment. And so it can't be a place of denial. It has to be a place of maybe you don't believe in it wholeheartedly, but maybe you just question it a little bit, but you also realize the benefits of taking care of our environment.
There are a lot of people who are going to see your group and see this and think that until you propose something bigger, bolder on climate, until you actually stand up to some of these companies that are responsible for most of the carbon that's going into the atmosphere, your message is not that different than similar groups that have come before you. There's going to be skepticism.
Yeah.
What's your answer to those folks who say this isn't really moving the needle at all?
Right. Well, my response to that would be, you can't go from 0 to 100 overnight in terms of getting environmental stuff done. And we will not be able to go to a massive climate policy overnight. And so we need to figure out a way to meet in the middle, create some policies that do make meaningful change, but are smaller steps in the right direction that can be ramped up going forward.